Hello, hello. We
Can you hear
are.
me?
I certainly can. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, hello,
So how are
Miss.
you doing? How are you doing today?
Very good. Hello, Mr. Douglas Brown. How can I help? What's happening in your world?
Oh, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of things happening.
Go
Uh,
for it. Go for it. Yeah.
uh, I mean, I basically kind of because with another psychic, I had my Akashic records opened up.
Nice.
You
Nice.
know what that about? Uh,
Mhm.
and she basically, I mean, she would go through a ritual calling in all the archangels, calling her star being friends because she's very connected to the Galactic Federation of Worlds,
Nice.
and
Excellent.
basically, I'm also connect. I'm also I'm also connected to that group in a very big way. So, even though I come into this life as what she was telling me, like a single minority, because I had a mission to accomplish.
Hmm.
So, and and basically, in these so-called galactic wars, I've lost a lot of family. And she was telling me I needed a lot of healing on that. Plus, I had like trying to. Plus, I had two great loves. One was a Pleiadian woman. Uh,
Okay.
I lost her in these great wars, and then I have another person in the spirit world, which she was telling me that's also Pleiadian but has Elven in
Hmm.
her DNA. I don't know if you understand about that, about the star race.
Sure. Yeah. There's many beings
Well,
from many different.
because we're hybrids and we're a reflection of what's up there.
Hmm.
I'm, I'm,
Absolutely.
I'm very well enlightened on a lot of this stuff,
Hmm.
and she's holds me in high regard. Because she knows I'm pretty advanced spiritually. So she's told me, I mean, there was a lot of things going on because she was talking to me about some stuff. She's like from the United Kingdom because their family goes way back, all the way to the Elizabeth, the first. And a lot of her family members are a lot mediums and in a
Nice.
very big way. So basically, when I connected up to her, there had to be a reason. I mean, there's nothing that happens by accident. But
Absolutely.
anyway, I was talking about the Pleiadian woman. He was talking about talking to Louise. I mean, I'm more clairaudient. I was telling I can't. I have some clairvoyance. You usually have to kind of calm your mind. You start seeing images, but I
Yeah.
not at will. That, or if I fall asleep, I've had like I remember like when I was in a church, I dozed off and then I saw this stopwatch. It's kind of like ticking, and I saw this guy and it just faded out. So I said, I mean, that was one instance of clairvoyance, but it's not, like you could do it at will. But I'm just listening, what you call downloads. But anyway, with the Pleiadian woman that had Elvin in her, she was telling Louise. Louise Jones is the person I'm referring to in the United Kingdom. Uh, she was telling her uh, that my DNA is very elemental, you know,
Hmm.
um, and telling. Well, she said I got it from my mother's side of
Yeah.
the family, and my dad was basically an earth angel. He was came in with me, according to what Louise was telling me, because he's more grand and more wise as act as support. Because I had a mission to accomplish, I guess.
I hear you.
Because I come into this world with a lot of trauma, a lot of emotion and everything,
Yeah,
and
tell me if you can about the trauma and emotion and just kind of where you feel stuck at this stage of your journey. If anything comes up there.
I'm based. Well, what she told me, I feel like I'm hitting a brick wall because I mean this is gonna sound weird. She says
Probably not. Go for it.
right now, she said I'm basically a time traveler, come back to the present. But when I came, she said she's read a lot of people's Akashic records. She said I'm seeing the same thing, that these people are controlling themselves through a program from the future in the past. Does that sound pretty weird? And then she talked about, well, the so-called deep state grabs these people before they come in and puts them in a machine or something, like a super
Mhm.
soldier.
So you think that they might have put you in like one of those programs and you got
I,
brought?
I don't have no no. I'm just talking about, they didn't grab me, so I'm here.
Yeah.
but
Right.
but but I'll come back here because if I'm in the future. But she also said because of all the family laws, I decided that I was not going to start a family because I've had entertained the thought, and I was always looking for. I could never find, but then I was held back. Well, I don't think it's going to be possible. It's going to, in the back, I guess my future self say, no, you're here to do a mission. You don't remember, you don't want to go through this pain that, that's why you came here. That's basically
Yeah.
why I come here to put off and do my mission. And basically Louise said, well, you come here to be, Douglas, you came here to do your passions, you know, I mean,
Right.
for the time being, until I'm ready to step up to the plate because I do have a destiny.
I have a question, if I may. When you say step up to the plate, do you have any idea what spirit or the energy, or maybe this experience that you had with that woman, do you have an idea of what it might be leading you toward, or maybe even something that you feel you're going to transition into at this stage of your life, even if it sounds kind of crazy or
Well,
impossible?
I already know. Well, see, going back, connecting the dots, going back because I was young. Like I said, I was in a withdrawn, and there was one instance. I mean, my dad, he's a very, I think highly of my dad, but my mom not so much
Mm.
because she had some issues. And my dad basically, at the time, he divorced her, and my aunt, which was his stepsister, come over, and then and this is what got me. I was standing on the steps. I just, I mean, family coming home, and I was just listening to what they were saying, but I was in a distance, and my aunt said, I had a dream about Doug. He was up there speaking to a lot of people. She was thinking I was some kind of preacher. I'm like,
Hmm.
I was withdrawn. No, that's, God has no, if that was like what I was thinking, Christianity and all that, God don't really care. I'm just saying, because I could never get up there and speak like that. You know, I'd probably be choking on my words and everything.
I feel you.
And it, but then I look back because I'm progressing in that direction. Because initially, when I was trying to, write stuff, it was like a block. But then it just like I told Louise, it was like flowing. But she told me, as far as confirmation, I didn't even tell her that story about my aunt because there's so much you can do within a session.
Yeah.
Uh, and she was telling me all, like I was a great warrior, a warrior of speech to the people. It connects back to, see, I'm connecting the dots here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and she even said that, I mean, people basically thought highly of me because she was saying that they built monuments in my name. And she was looking and she said they're still there to this day. And she
She's
said,
highly popular.
basically, because when the first reading I had, she would, it wasn't a Akashic reading. She was telling me all this stuff. She said, she was doing her cards, and she said, you're very well protected. And she held up the Archangel Michael, and because you've been attacked all your life.
Do you
And
feel like you've been attacked all your life? What do you think?
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm here. Does anybody who don't want me to be here? This is a great war
What?
here.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
You survived this far, right? I get it.
Uh, what's going on in the world? But anyway, she said, "See, I'm living this life, and I'm thinking, I'm feeling like maybe I don't have any support because I got back issues, or I
Uh,
feel like, there's always spiritual things about your body, that, I've studied this stuff about the chakras and all this stuff.
can you tell me about any other physical maladies that you might have right now?
I have, I have shortness of breath. I get issues with my back. I feel like sometimes you can't bend over. I feel like I'm
So it's like lower back?
my lower back, and then my feet, uh, around my ankle area. Because I used to work in shipping, and I used to be in extreme pain when I was trying to do my, because I was walking back and forth between the printer. It,
Mm.
and then I had one instance where I was kind of, it would get so bad, but both my legs were kind of wobbling. I had to have the issue could be, there's also issues with, because I went to a chiropractor, he said I had curvature of the spine. So there's probably all kinds of stuff wrong with my body.
It actually feels like you do. The reason why I asked that is it feels like you have some compressed nerve activity in your lower back. It feels like it's like leading you to some sort of, and then you said it right then, some sort of a disconnection with the feet, or even what might show up as nerve pain right now. It's almost like an energetic pinch or a hose that's a little bit kinked.
Well, the chiropractors say pinch nerves.
Yeah. They probably, that's probably what I'm describing. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go on. Anything else that feels just blocked?
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, basically, I've been here. I mean, she was telling me all this stuff. I mean, here I sit there watch all. I watch science fiction movies like Star Trek. I said, man, it would be great to be. You think about this stuff, but then you look at your life, and then I seen Star Wars. It really, that's like, is this really real? I mean, it did something to me, like, because I was connected to something I couldn't relate to, and she was telling me I was like some kind of, great scientist, great engineer, great mathematician. You said you're a hero. You did planetary alignments on Mars, and you got it right.
Very interesting. It sounds like maybe one of the things we might be being called to do here today, and sometimes, as we do these, whether it's a clearing session or, whatever we're doing, we think we're here for one reason, and then we get in the door and spirit.
I just like, I don't know exactly what you do. I'm basically trying to get to the point, because you always talk about ascension, so I can increase my awareness of my multidimensionality, increase my.
Well, let me just
all my senses, like psychic and stuff like that.
Right. Well, let me just explain what it is that I actually do, just in case. You probably booked after Laura's show. And so what do I actually do? What we are here to do today, and just so you know, there's many things we can do, but it sounds like what we are being called to do is to connect Doug with that version of you on that higher dimensional plane. When you met that reader and she told you about how you've been many of these beings and many of those things, and in some stages in our life, it's very important for us to receive that information, because we might not be connected in physical ways. We might be separate. We might not be a part of on the earth plane. And I think that's very important for us to bring that out, because I think we're being called to just further connect you with the multidimensional hierarchy, what some people call like the versions of you in those realms. And I believe that.
Well, I apologize.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I just wanted, there was an instant, because I had to set up a room, create a room, and all the beings come in. Like one dude was like he was I'm trying to describe, a reptilian, gray zeta, insectoid.
Nice.
And Ashtar come in, but but the guy, he was called Zatchal. That was her crew.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing, Doug. Pause, please.
Okay.
I don't work with anyone else's beings. I don't connect with anyone else's. Like the.
No. I wasn't saying. I wasn't saying that. I was just relating to where I'm at the moment. But there was one instance where she saw a giant come in,
mm-hmm.
and she didn't know at first. She had to hold him at the door and to deal with what was important at the moment. So. But
I just want to be really honest with you. Giving you some false information, Doug. She's doing what a lot of psychics do. They do this thing called throwing the kitchen sink at you, and they tell you, "Oh, you've been this, you're in this program, you're this being. There's this alien here, there's this archangel here." And the longer you respond and nod your head and go through this process with them and feel emotion, they continue to give it to you over and over and over again. It does not mean that any of these things are not true, but as a professional who does not take people's money and spin false stories, it sounds like you've been given a very fantastical story that really is going to lead you nowhere on the earth plane. It's going to take you nowhere other than the feelings of what is very true. The reality is we still have to live here on the earth, and there's methods in which you can connect to those elements of yourself. But if there's one thing I want to give you today, it is a higher discernment, so that when you meet these people, in this realm, and there's going to be many others. You're going to know when they're spinning something to you or they're actually giving you something authentic, because it sounds like while those things are probably true,
Well,
it's
let me interject here. You know, because I have to decide. I can't depend on, that's, I'm not depending on her, and she knows that. But I've looked at what she said, and how she said it to me. So anyway, I was talking about, there was a giant, but basically getting to the point, she realized, it was part of myself left in another parallel universe. But anyway, there's a lot of things that, and she merged it, she said he wants to work with you. And, because I was doing work with the Galactic Federation, and, but anyway, there's a situation that we're involved in, because there's a lot of, she's seeing a lot of fraud, and she's getting ready to call these people out. There's an individual called, I don't, you ever heard of Simon Parks? Okay, she let me, on some intel, and uh, because there's a lot of people leading us down, and she calls them the crazy hats. So she's not leading me down the trail, because I've listened to her words, and she's looking out. She said I have a responsibility to look at, because she has a lot of followers, and she was telling me that, there are a lot of crazy hats out there. You got the white hats and the dark hats, and so she's seeing that, and she was telling me, if you want my guidance, but she said I feel like you're spiritually advanced to use your intuition. Is that kind of a person that's trying to take advantage of me?
I do not believe that's a person that's taking advantage of you, but as a person that does this professionally, this is a very common thing that I hear.
So I got my pendulum. I could find that out.
Absolutely, and I please advise you to do that, Doug. I'm not one of those people that makes money off telling people.
I know. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just. I have to use discernment myself. So, with her, I had to listen to her. Is she trying to? And as far as I can tell, I mean, I could use body language. I could use, if I ever learn how to use tarot cards, I could use the pendulum. I've used it like on Simon Parks.
Yeah.
And what she told me, because of her, she has to protect her client, but she stepped on a limb, on a limb, and she said, "Well, Simon is is very, very psychic, but I think he should have stuck to his little healing group, because he kind of expanded, and she felt like he's not properly handling his energetics." And she told me personally that she has to heal these people that have been hurt by him, whether it was intentional or unintentional. You see where I'm coming from? So I have to look at that in discernment, and you're coming across like she's trying to,
I don't believe that she's trying to take advantage of you. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it feels.
I know you're saying that there are other people like that.
No, that's not actually what I'm saying.
Okay, I apologize.
Please just let me finish. What I'm saying is it sounds like you've had many real experiences. When we receive those knowings and those information from people, in many cases, the fact that it shows up within the context of the session is very, very correct. It probably is absolutely true. I think the part that I don't understand is that you're coming into a healing session, and I'm not sure if you're asking me to confirm these things about this person. I'm not sure.
No.
What it is that you're looking for.
I'm sharing. That's it.
Nice. And just so you know, you've booked a clearing session. This is a healing process, which is absolutely something that we're going to do. Are there any blockages or stuff that we can do to help you sort of clear up whatever the knowing or the energy is around?
Okay. Basically, what I was saying, and I'm not trying to bring her. I was just briefly sharing my experience. Sometimes I talk too much, so I apologize for that.
No, it's all good. Thank you.
Okay. Basically, I'm at my point in life that I need to use, discernment. So I need to have all these so-called, abilities to be in full operation, is what I'm saying. So if I'm going to be, that's what she expects me to do, because she told me, I feel like you're very spiritual, and your intuition, because you're like me. I had to learn how to do this to, discern about people, because she's seeing that she's kind of fell into some traps herself, and she's admitted that she's not perfect. She says, I'm human. I don't, because of my psychic, I don't always know everything. I only see images. So I'm just letting it go at that. So with me, I want to be able to, expand, I guess, spiritually, have all, you hear about the third eye. Uh, so you understand where I'm coming from. So I need to be equipped to do my mission.
Absolutely, and thank you for weathering the awkwardness about this psychic that you saw. I'm sorry to give you a negative viewpoint.
Okay.
Here's what we can do. I'm gonna be I'm as you can tell, I'm a brutal realist with these things, and so
Okay.
here's what we can absolutely do.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your honesty.
Very, very reliable. What we can do here today is to open up the layers of non-physical density within your body, meaning the energy trapped within your chakras, the meridians, and even in many cases, the organs within your body. They will hold a density, sometimes emotion, sometimes even physical matter from previous stages of our life that can have a number of effects on us. One of the most common ones is gaps in discernment, sometimes brain fog. Every now and then, even physical maladies will occur and behavior processes that will persist in the life. And so what we're doing today is we're starting a process of opening those up. And you're getting a recording of this. So I'm gonna call out some of the channels on your body that you can start to research or work with. We're also gonna work with those in a few moments, but are gonna give you just a better level of clarity in your life. It's also going to help you get in touch with the multidimensional versions of yourself. And so one of the primary areas that you can work with is number one, the solar plexus chakra, right in the center of the body. Within the meridian system, this will be very important for you. The gallbladder meridian and what is also known as the triple warmer meridian, especially when it comes to discernment, thought forms, and creating clarity so that you yourself are able to take in a piece of information and instantly understand or identify whether it is correct, whether it be through using intuition or just what you know about the world. And so in addition to that, what we're also probably going to do is open up some of the root chakra stuff. And my prayer is by opening up the kind of like the structural base of your energy field, is it's going to bring just new energy, new knowings, maybe even new abundance in your life. Just kind of new processes can come in. And yeah, just for the record, I do want to say, I actually do agree with much of what this individual is telling you. I don't believe that they were trying to, manipulate you. But it can be for some of us a very bizarre and misleading process. And so I want to say thank you to whoever that person is, because she led you down a really powerful road. And I think what we're going to do today is hopefully make it stronger, empower that on a greater level. But I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I appreciate what you're saying. So
Thank you.
no problem.
And so if you're ready, we're going to do a reading here. We're just going to look at your timeline. I like to say take everything with a grain of salt. Just because I see it as such, or just because I view it as such on the multidimensional plane, it's really up to you to allow your body to kind of understand. But if you're ready, let's just kind of take a look at where Doug is at and just kind of what it is we can do to strengthen or empower that version of you. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Whatever the universe can say about me.
Is there any questions you want to add for your reading, or any intentions that you?
No, I don't want to talk too much. I'm just going to sit here and listen to you. So
okay, let's just. Thank you. Oh, and do you go by Douglas or Doug? What do your friends call you?
Oh my goodness. Some people call me Douglas, but you can call me Doug for short. I think it's generally what people call me. So
yeah. Okay. And so
I'm not really particular.
Perfect. Okay, so let's kind of close our eyes for a few moments, and we're going to start by taking some very deliberate breaths. It's a little bit like you're going to have a balloon down in your belly, and we'll just real gently puff ourselves up, real slow and full. And as you exhale, Doug, let everything flow out, like you're just going to really squeeze the balloon. Good job. Keep going. You'll start getting a couple weird old memories or strange conversations will rise up in your body. Just keep breathing. job. Keep breathing as we formally connect with those of you assisting the mind, body, spirit complex known as Doug. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone here on behalf of Doug, many and confirmation of many, many beings within what we might call the multi-dimensional higher self council that is guiding Doug at this stage. And so it does appear you do have quite a variety of what we might call multi-dimensional selves or even guide activity. I think there was comments about what appeared to be Pleiadian or Nordic guides. It's absolutely true. It's also a recent addition, I think, just in general, like a much larger increase in that presence. And so it looks like it is leading you down a couple different timeline options. A lot of it for you right now, Doug, looks like it revolves around self-expression and exploration of self in ways that at previous stages of your life might not have been approved, or you might have been shamed for. You might have never been encouraged in those areas. But a lot of it does seem to revolve around what feels like a number of incarnational life cycles, in a number of places. Thank you. It looks like the Mars timeline for you is a very realistic thing. The way it kind of shows up a little bit differently from this viewpoint, just to give you a slightly different perspective, it almost looks like you are terraforming large areas, like creating a shift in the structure of the land. And so I really do want to add some confirmation to some of just the energies around you. I'm going to kind of zoom out from your field a little bit, like we're going to look at you from way up above, so you might perceive a little light way up above your head in the distance. And let's look around, Doug. And it looks like you do have a lot of kind of just like suppression and maybe even just old child, kind of like some childhood trauma stuff in which you really got shut down. It looks like that closed off part of the energy field on the right side of your body. So there's like some demasculation and stuff that occurred. And I think it shut down some of the connections that you have with some of the beings that are kind of showing up at this stage of your life. And so earlier, I think you might have mentioned what looks like a reptilian being or some very, very positive, what looked like reptilian beings. If I were to guess, and if you were kind of working with the version of yourself that may have been involved in some sort of just past lives and some sort of a program or almost like a Starfleet type of a thing, which sounds kind of crazy. But it looks like these are kind of reflections of beings or consciousnesses that you had encountered at that stage. And so there's what we would call a lot of presences, a lot of identities around Doug at this stage of the journey. Now, what I think he may be being called to do with it is, and I guess if you're looking for input as to how you can further awaken or strengthen the intuitive abilities or even the discernment in your body, it looks like you can return to some of the events that occurred for you in your life, just probably around age 6. Looks like a little bit after, a little bit before. Just kind of some pivotal things that seem to close some doors in your energy body. And so earlier we mentioned the solar plexus chakra. Just you learning about and working with that on a greater level is going to help you come to just more empowerment in your life. And then moving upward in your body, I'm just going to real gently bring a little light to your throat. And we're going to open your throat chakra as well, or at least assist in the releasing of old energy there, just so you can be properly heard. You can be properly heard and properly expressed in a way that allows Doug to be acknowledged and received by the world on a greater level. So thank you. We'll go ahead and thank you, Doug. Let's just see what shows up. We'll pull a couple cards here. And don't worry, you're going to get a recording.
Should I keep my eyes closed or?
Oh, absolutely. Or you can keep them open. I tend to do that because I'll sort of be looking in.
I'm kind of getting kind of emotional. So.
Please allow that to flow. That's usually the sign that your guides and everybody rolls in. They'll roll in and we feel the emotion and the energy of the moment. So I'm just, go ahead. I'm going to pull a couple cards for you.
Because Louise basically, was telling me about my because I go through life and I said, is there, anybody out there as far?
Yeah, I feel you. Let it flow, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. That is real. And I think part of our journey here today is to help you become connected with those elements of yourself. I'm going to show you just a couple cards. Allow yourself to feel and be real, the real you in this space. And this is one of your primary representatives right now. It's this thing called a Four of Pentacles. And you might notice it's kind of like this little man and he's in a little box. And here's the thing, Doug, there's nothing actually wrong with this energy, but it's very contained. And you can tell he's very intact. He's got, he's got his gold with him. He's in this little box and he is shut away.
I'm sort of trying to get into the tarot thing, but I haven't really quite got into the deep study of it. I mean, I got a deck of cards, so I'm beginning to move into stuff like crystals. And I got like argonite.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go.
So because she was saying I was, elemental. I mean, this is before that, and I'm starting to say, well, if I'm, because if I'm have that elven in me, then she basically said I have my, by the very fact that you have your boots on the ground, you're healing the earth. So,
I agree. I'm gonna let me just tell you what this thing is about right here. This is gonna be helpful for you going forward, because I think if there's one thing that you can do to help this new version of Doug appear on the earth plane, or to become in greater contact with, those other versions of you, which are very, very real. You can learn about this. It's the same place, the solar plexus chakra in your body. But also, you notice the top of his head, he's got this thing covering it. That's the crown chakra. And so what would happen when our crown chakra is closed? And forgive me, you might already know this, so forgive me, but what happens when our crown chakra is closed or misaligned is you might not feel in touch with that guidance.
Overcompensation for
possibly because a certain area will be closed. But what happens with Four of Pentacles, though, is important, Doug, because nothing really ever truly goes wrong. He never dies. There's no real disaster. He just kind of stays the same way that he is forever, which for some people is very safe. It's a very safe place. But for others, we will come to a stage in our life in which we know there is something more. We know that we're meant to crawl out of a box. And I think one of the things we're being called to do today, probably why they just mentioned it a little while ago, heal the inner child, but also because I think you're at a little bit of a crossroads in your journey. This is an influencing energy for you. It's a Two of Pentacles. It's also a confirmation that you are probably a very advanced fifth density being who chose to incarnate into a human body so that you could go through this wild experience. You came in under very difficult settings. And now here we are at this stage of your journey, and you're in a little bit of a crossroads in which you're beginning to become aware of the many versions of you. And sure, we may not know how to access them or what Doug is called to do with it. But whatever you're doing, and maybe you can see the symbolism. Don't worry if you don't know anything about tarot. This is a very high level thing. It's way up in the clouds. You're balancing.
Sure, with that particular card deck, because there's all kinds of different card decks.
Oh, there's millions. Yeah. Totally.
I know. But I got the Rider-Waite, so that was the beginner's basic one. So
it's a really good deck. I used to use it all the time. But I think one of the things we're being called to do is to help you get through a crossroads stage in your journey, and to allow a level of strengthening, or to help you move forward. Because you can imagine that being on this tightrope is going to go quite slowly.
Right.
You might not be able to operate at the most optimal speed. And so
because your face is, because the pictures have, I guess, 1,000 words, or you can, determine.
Oh, yes. And the really cool thing is in multi-dimensional tarot, a lot of the decks will actually show you exactly the areas in your life or the places on your body with which to work. And the Two of Pentacles is very much within the mental body, the energy around us, like how we're perceiving our mind, our thoughts, the way we will implement them, and then how we move forward. And we'll get stuck in between two worlds, two versions of ourselves, personas, wounds, it could be anything, but it's a very useful thing to see. And so I'm just going to show you just a couple of other cards here.
Okay.
I would say if there is something that you can do right now, and this is a very general, thing. 'Cause this is where do we go next? And it's a very interesting image. You might not think, you might know this in your own right, but this is the Six of Pentacles. And so what would a Six of Pentacles have to do with Doug? Well, Six of Pentacles, it looks weird. It's all these hands coming out and money's changing everywhere. And the person looks like they're dressed pretty well. They have lots of gold. But what does this symbolize? A stage of your life in which you are being given authorization to fully invest yourself, not necessarily monetarily, like your energy, your interest, your time, into something that you will yearn for every day. When you get up in the morning and you look at your phone or you go online and you want to learn about or read about whatever that is, Six of Pentacles authorizes you to make a full investment into those areas of your life. Put everything into it, the uncovery of it. Whatever you invest with the Six of Pentacles will be given back to you. But if you're in a stage of self-discovery, it's often at the cost of putting all of your time and energy into a certain thing. When we find that you do that, you may begin exchanging that with the world on a whole new level. They may come even, desirous of what Doug has created. It kind of gives you an opportunity when that woman said, maybe you're going to be speaking or you're going to be in front of many people. And you're like, I don't know how I'm going to, how am I going to do that? Six of Pentacles, whatever that is for you, it starts by fully throwing ourselves into whatever it is. And so that's why it's very general. It doesn't tell you what area. But here's the weird thing, Doug. Whenever we get those kinds of readings in your mind, you'll be asking yourself, could it be this? Could it be that? Maybe it's this. I don't know. That's actually your guides, and they'll come in and go, hey, Doug, it's this, and it's this. But we think it's like, I don't know, I wonder. And that's actually them telling you the areas of your life in
Yeah,
which
'cause I get a lot of downloads,
yes.
because I'm very aware. You cut the grass, or I'm just listening. What was being, I said, what, and then I play, because Louise was talking about, like, when she listens to music, she said this connects me to my star being friends, and I was listening to some music. I was listening to some trance because she was telling me that the Pleiadians like dance music, and they're like us. They want to they want to live, just they want happiness, and they want to belong to things. And she said you can have relationships with them and everything. And she was even saying there's guys that go on board and have relationships and have kids. They bring them up there. They don't keep them apart. It's just they can't be down here at the moment, because of all what's going on here. They have to be cloaked up there, watching what's going on down there. What's those humans? Are they
Yeah.
really serious about moving? Because of all the things that are going on in this world. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But 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 Louise was basically, she's seeing a lot of dangers of us getting sucked into this, into like cults. And like I was bringing back Simon Parks, because he started an organization called Connecting Consciousness,
Yeah.
and I'm a part of this group. And I threw this video out there because this video was exposing, not so much questioning Simon Parks, but because all the associations. There's Charlie Ward. There's a lot of these guys, and the guys already said, and Louise said, well, you guys get for information, but you still have to use discernment. I don't know about the people that follow him. Uh, and she was basically giving me intel, about Simon. He said she said he's very psychic, but she was, it sounded like she was getting a little upset. He should have stuck with his smaller group, because I don't think you know, he's basically, it looks like a giant. How a giant doesn't know his strength when he go up to somebody, shake their hands, crush their hands, really really doesn't think about the person and walks away. And the guys, and Louise told me, because she has to protect these people's identity. I don't, it's none of my damn business.
Really?
But she stepped down on a limb to let me, because she was trying to help me. She said, if you need my guidance, but then she said, I feel like your intuition is very powerful, that you can handle the situation. But that's what she was telling me. She said we need to, and I told her herself, I can't depend on you all my life. I got to stand on my own 2 feet, walk my own path, And she basically like, gave me a thumbs up, So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at her, and I know what you were saying about the other people. That's probably so. But but I'm that's coming from me. I have to use that discernment. That
Totally.
what she says and how she says it, and I can see that she's looking up for my best interest.
I agree.
And I see her life, and because she was attacked. She's in the UK, and trying she was trying to be loving because a lot of things surrounding about the Queen. She was
Yeah.
giving her condolences, and people got like crazy. And she like, oh my God. And she retreated, and she was going to quit the whole thing, but then she had to get by herself and think whether because she was doing all these world predictions and stuff like that. And then she started she said, because YouTube's kind of attacked her, take down 12 of her videos
Yeah.
before the election. And she said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you people. I'm going to teach you people how to open portals, how to connect with star beams, how to open your third eye. I think this will help you out. You
Nice.
know.
How did it work?
So, well, she had got to that. So right now she's doing her horoscope. She's working on her thing, but but she gets on Twitch because she feels that she used to be a gamer in her hippie days, and she said I feel really relaxed here. I don't feel like YouTube is looking over my shoulders.
Yeah, YouTube's weird now. I agree.
Yeah, and she's been on there twice, and she was telling it. She said I feel like she was talking about Trump, like they got a lot on this guy, because he was kind of he says he's got a lot of because he's a lot of the deep state surrounded. And she was seeing in another video, she saw all these people dropping to their knees, and they had the flags, and she didn't know what that was about, but she has to put this in a contextual frame of reference. And then she gets another, because she sat on it for a while, and then she got another vision, and she said, guys, I I think it's Trump. So she saw a bag being thrown over his head,
Hmm.
and she had her crystal ball, and she heard the word extradite, even though being you think, wouldn't she know that? Because they have a different words of art type,
Hmm.
and they're not accustomed to that word because that's in the U.S. Extradite means to take somebody back
Yeah.
to the
Right.
to the crime to jurisdiction. So I even told her about Dune because I was, she was telling about Mars. I told her that's similar to Dune because I read some articles about uh, source articles. It was talk about Mars and the farmers and the matriarch type society
Hmm.
on there. And it was talking about these giant worms. And I'm thinking, this is sounding like Dune. This guy it's for irrigation of the Martian soil. And then the worms were about spice. So what did Frank Herbert know?
I know, right? I
You
wonder
got the,
who's
you got the
probably
warp. You got the warp. So,
Hmm.
and then she said, "No, I never heard of Dune."
Huh.
So
Interesting.
I didn't mean to get off the track.
Oh no,
So
no, it's all right. No, it's all good. Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know where you were at.
Oh no, that's all good. We were just kind of looking at some of your energy there. So, in terms of your energy clearing, we have some pretty good structures with which to work with, which we've mentioned the gallbladder, triple warmer, definitely the solar plexus showed it multiple times. And like I said earlier, probably some of the structural stuff around your root and just hopefully opening up flow in the body so that you can create a shift and move forward. And um, yeah, is there any other questions you would want to add to your reading before we do some healing work here?
No,
Even if it's
I can't.
totally out of nowhere.
I can't really think. I think I pretty much maybe at the time, but I guess if you know how that is, because I don't think I have any more questions, and they just pop in your mind. Where'd that come from?
Yeah,
Need
totally,
to ask.
totally.
I don't plan it. Maybe my guys. Hey, you need to ask this question.
Oh yeah, no worries. Every now and then something will show up. I just
It's
like
important for you to know.
yeah, I just like to leave room. You never know. But yeah, if you're ready, we're gonna be doing some
Yeah.
healing work here. And so
Okay.
if you need to, this is a really good time to go to the bathroom. Don't worry, I say that to everyone, not everyone,
Oh,
but just
I tried to make. I sort of ate a pizza before it, and then I started.
oh, cool.
Well, I felt like I was constipated, and I said, "Oh my god!" And then, but then I took care of the issue.
Yeah, cool.
So
Just in
I'm,
case.
I'm all good. So I went to the bathroom before. So,
Perfect. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I just like to mention it. You know, just
yeah,
it seems
that's
like one of those.
kind of a courtesy for the.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a good time. But yeah, if you're ready, see if you can get as
I'm
comfortable
ready.
as you can. Even if you want to lay down over there, as long as you can hear me, that's all we need. And it's really about you getting
I'm perfectly fine sitting upright. So
excellent. And
I'm
so,
not sleepy.
all right. And so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be going through an internal process. It's a little bit like a meditation that we're gonna do. And I'm gonna be creating a sound that we bring through areas of your body, and it opens up blockages in real time. And so I want you to allow yourself to feel any emotions, any memories, strange stuff that comes through. It's just old energy going down the drain. And so, yeah, if we can we'll just close our eyes, and I'm gonna turn off my sound filter.
More clairaudient.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, I just because
Yeah.
I mean, when she was talking to me, she said, "Do you see this?" Because she was kind of gauging my clear vision, and she said, "Well, that's okay if you don't see it." You know, she was just she didn't know. She was just seeing if my if I was being helped by
Yeah.
connecting. Because she said, "Well, you can either listen or you can come with us and close your eyes and stuff like that."
Yeah. So, well, today your only mission is to receive. That's the only thing you're called to do, is allow the body to receive new energy and just whatever the gifts of spirit are that are present for each and every one of us. And so, yeah, if you're ready, we'll just close our eyes and kind of slide into those deep breaths. Just acknowledging that you're here today to open your energy, to receive new healing, to allow the gifts of spirit. Take some slow, gentle breaths, Doug, nice and easy. With that next breath, I'd like you to welcome the childhood self, the childhood imagination, the version of you that's still existing in that world of pure magic, pure make-believe, pure imagination. Just bring that version of yourself in the room, and when you're ready on that next breath, let's start bringing all of your awareness up to the very top of your head, right at the crown, right in the middle. And it's going to be a little bit like you're a dolphin, or a whale, or a chimney, or a volcano. And you're just breathing through this little opening up there at the top of your head, and you might feel just a little bit of a pulsation or maybe some warmth up there. And we're going to start today by just decompressing your energy body, allowing all the pressurized emotions and thought forms and everything in there to just start flowing out in its own way. It's like letting all the pressure and letting everybody drop right back down where they belong. And so I'm going to bring in a little doctor's flashlight, Doug. You know, the ones they put in your ear or your eye and kind of look around. But we're going to hold it right up above the top of your head. I'm going to shine a little light right into the crown of your head. You'll feel it in your own way. In 3, 2, 1... We'll have a few moments of silence and then just gently decompress the energy body. Allow any emotions or memories. You're in a truly safe place. Om Shrim Sarveshwaraya Namaha. Om Shrim Param Jyotishe Namaha. Om Shrim Param Brahmaya Namaha. Om Shrim Param Karunyaya Namaha. Om Shrim Param Pavitraya Namaha.
With this breath, we honor each and every one of you alongside Doug here in this life, in this realm, in this body, in the year 2021. We just honor each and every one of you as we begin the process of improving discernment, internal clarity, empowerment, and strengthening of Doug's energy field in preparation for that mission and the work he chose to complete to become the version of him that he truly is in this earth realm. We honor each and every one of you coming forth. And Doug, I'll just real gently, I'm going to place my fingertips at your temples. You'll feel it in your own way. And we're just going to help release any of the trapped and stagnated energy in your body. And so you'll feel some energy at your temples. 3, 2, 1. Just allow any old memories, strange...
Sort of feeling like, I guess, pressure up in this area. I don't know if that's any confirmation or...
Oh, good. Yeah, you'll definitely feel it in your own way. And so we're just going to hold it right there and take a few slow breaths. We're going to start on the father side. We're going to release the density and just some of the wounding and just the energy trapped over there. I'm going to press on the right side of your head, Doug. Take a deep breath in. Gives a little pop right next to your right temple. Slow breath in. You can swallow a couple times and then just kind of release that energy down. Some of it'll move down your esophagus. And I'm going to bring my other hand over and I'm going to just cover your left ear, Doug. That'll be just kind of a new sensation. You'll feel it in your own way. I'm going to put my whole palm over your left ear and we're going to help just heal the mother's side, rebalance the feminine energy, and also put Doug in greater touch with just the hierarchy of many elements of self that are working with him on the earth plane. It's going to help you release emotions from the body in the coming days. And this is your left ear in 3, 2, 1. Take a slow breath in. Acknowledge any old memories. Oh, good job, Doug. Whoa. Very good. Very, very good. Deep breath in. Let's remove that energy from the left side of your head. We're going to clear up the processes of discernment and just allow Doug to just hear and receive and communicate energy on a greater level. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. Take a slow breath. You're doing really well. So we're going to bring a little bit of that energy downward, a little bit down to the base of your throat. You'll feel it in your own way. It kind of rolls right on down, and I'm just going to hold that little light that we placed right up above your head, that little flashlight. I'll bring it back in, and I'm just going to aim it right at the base of your throat, Doug, that little notch at the top of your collarbone, that little soft spot, and you'll feel it in your own way. We'll have a few moments of silence as we just kind of bring this light into your body. And 3, 2, 1. Take a slow breath in. Let's focus on the back of your throat first. Let's come around to the front of your throat where that little light's pointing. Good awareness. Good job. Slow breath in. Slow breath in. Good job, Doug. We're going to keep that energy moving through you. We're giving your body a bit of an upgrade here today, and just improving connectivity and even clearing up some of the dream body interactions in the astral spaces for Doug. And so let's bring that little light back in, and I'm going to move it right on down to about heart level. And you're going to feel it in your own way once again. Sometimes it's warm or cool, or even just sometimes we simply imagine it in our mind's eye.
Yeah, I feel a lot of light pressure up in this area. I mean, as far as that area.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And so I'm going to bring that little light right up there. Let's go right up to the third eye there in the brow. I'm going to scoot it right up there, and let's shine that little light right on that spot on your head. In 3, 2, 1. And once again, you can just allow any strange thought forms that come in, or old images, memories, conversations. I'm going to bring that little light a bit closer to your head. You'll feel just a little bit more warmth or brightness there. It's like we're shining it right in that little opening of your third eye, and you can allow that childhood self to roll in, and it's kind of like a strange cartoon inside your body. We just lean into that internal environment, and let's shine this little light around in your third eye. You'll perceive it in your own way, Doug. Take a slow, deep breath in, like you're breathing in your forehead. Gentle, easy breath. Let's go around to the back of that spot in the back of your head, just opposite where you felt that sensation. We can tell there's still a bit of that energy there. Let's help it drain out from the back, and we'll bring it right around to the back of your head, Doug. You have really good internal awareness. Let's bring it right around to the back of your head. 3, 2, 1. Good job. We're releasing mental pressure. Gentle breath in one more time. Let's create some drainage in the upper chakras and just help create clarity over the coming days. It's like old liquid draining out from under a car. We've all seen that, and We just allow that energy to drain from the body. I'm going to pull a little cork in the back of your head, just like we did on the sides. It allows drainage. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good job, Doug. I know that's new for you. Doing really well. Let's bring some of that energy down the back, right down to your lower back. Oh, good job. You know exactly where we're going. Very good, Doug. We're going to bring that energy right down there in your back. And it's going to be a little bit like we're going to stitch some things up. The childhood self will kind of roll in and give us some interesting and strange internal images. And you'll just allow that process as we start to just weave together some of the tensions and just the difficulty and the energetic tears and anything that's misaligned within Doug's back. You'll feel it just a little bit like a zigzag back and forth back there. Sometimes it'll be a whole different process, and we just honor whatever spirit brings to us in this moment. I'm going to keep holding energy on your back here. Allow whatever arises. It's a low rumble, a low buzz, low in your back. Deep breath in. Let's bring that down your legs, Doug. We're going to bring it down to your ankles and your heels and the bottoms of your feet. Pull that energy down there. I'm going to bring that little light back in and shine it right underneath your feet. You'll notice it's like a little light underneath you shining upward. And here it comes right underneath your heels in the back there. 3, 2, 1. Take a slow breath in. Oh, very good. Just allow your body to drift for a few moments. We're just going to kind of retether your energy body and just reconnect it, creating new light, strength, empowerment, certainty, interconnectedness with the guides and the beings that are assisting Doug here in this earth plane. We just allow for a greater level of connection. It's almost going to be a little bit like I'm holding the bottoms of your feet in 3, 2, 1. Deep, gentle breath in. Thank all those representatives of the Pleiadian Council and the many representatives of the Nordic beings stepping forth to assist Doug in coming to a greater level of connection with just the guides and the multidimensional higher self council that is guiding him in this body. We honor each and every one of you stepping forward, and you may feel many hands on your head, or your shoulders, on your sides, many beings coming together to just assist Doug in letting go of a lot of the inner child healing and just some of the old traumas from previous stages of his life that are leading to disempowerment, lack of acknowledgement, and just many of the conditions he's taken as granted in parts of his existence here. We allow for just the resetting and the recreation of the appropriate level of internal and external connection for Doug in this realm. And so I'm just going to hold some energy around your auric field. It's just energy all around your body. You're doing really good. It's almost like we're going to spin a little cocoon around you. You'll perceive it in your own way. In 3, 2, 1. start from the bottom and work our way up. Focus on the solar plexus right in the middle of your body. Let's let go of shame, resentment in the body. Let's let go of other people's emotions in the body. Back up to the third eye in both the front and the back. With this breath, we honor each and every one of you alongside Doug in this now moment in the earth realm. Guides, guardians, ancestors, family members, galactic family. We honor each and every one of you, stepping forward to assist Doug in his passive healing and activation, acknowledgement, empowerment. We ask if there's anything else he needs here today, please begin transmitting the contents of those energies or those messages over the next 24 to 48 hour period in whatever way is capable of receiving it. Dreams, synchronicity, direct messaging, whatever it takes. In the name of the one infinite creator, we honor each and every one of you. So it is, so it is, so it is.
Is it okay if I open my eyes, or?
Yes, it certainly
I didn't
is.
want to.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime you feel ready.
I was feeling like all around here, and my hands were kind of buzzing a little bit. I've heard about Kundalini, and you what you call Kundalini, because that's the involvement of the chakra system.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But also in the churches, how the so-called slain in the spirit and Catherine Kuhlman. I found out that was some Christian research. That's they didn't exactly like it, but they went in some real in depth on that, and I was like, really, about Kundalini, because they had the same effect the Eastern people.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with this, they don't know what it is. They think it's from God, and they kind of abuse it. But even the Eastern guys, they abuse it. There's a lot of abuse going on in there. But I'm trying to think, what was I trying? Oh, I was sitting there listening, and I was hearing, we're here for you, to support you,
Nice.
uh, you know, we're here with you, brother, and, we're not going to forsake you and everything. But anyway, going back to Louise, I mean, this is what she told me, when I had my first reading. She said, "You're well protected, and you're highly regarded in the spirit world, and highly respected." And in all of her readings, because I guess that was the kind of person I was. I was helping people at the cost of losing, you know, losing my family, because I never knew what it, because I kind of this life, and I had all these so-called, imagination. I'm searching for in which he was talking about, because I never really expected her, to bring any kind of true love. That was not on my mind, and I really, I had that kind, that kind of life, and in there, that I was doing things that just, I look, I'm trying to speak, but there's a lot of emotions going on, but I know you understand. Because I was going, because I mean, you saw how my life was, because I had a lot of issues, what they were showing you, uh, with the issues, and I was going through life looking, where is the, where is this one that I apparently lost? But I didn't realize that, that's, you know who I was searching for. And Louise brought that up. I said, really? And she said she was trying to connect to me, and she was telling her about all this stuff about, what about my mission and everything. And Louise said, she's trying to connect. She's trying to put an image in your head about her, and because I think it's kind of difficult for me, because I never really got into it, and I never really dated, or I never really put myself out there to really try to, connect up with the person of the opposite sex. So I going through all life, where is this person? Should I just give up, or and didn't realize that it was in another lifetime. And
You may find
so
that version of you shows up in your dreams in the coming days.
so so I'm kind of that. Well, see, that's basically why I want to have more awareness, to see, to see who this person really is, because Louise said that she's a very beautiful, maybe, beautiful inside, as far as the heart.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
Thank you.
because
Yeah.
because because she was saying, when she listens to music, because I was listening to this, trance music, and this, it's called like angel chill, and I was listening to this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
connected me to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Let it flow. That's a really good sign. We open up the emotional body.
So,
We just let
well,
it.
that's been happening before
Yeah.
that. So,
Good job.
and it, I'm in this world to accomplish a mission. So I don't want to be blindsided.
Yeah.
Like I say, she's looking out. Louise is. I know she's looking out for my best interest. She said,
Yes.
"Look, you're going to have to. I'm here to help as a friend. You know, you know. But I feel that you're very spiritually advanced, and your intuition is very powerful, and you can handle the situation." Even though she gave me her information, stepped on a limb, because that's, short of revealing her clients. She said, because of confidentiality, I can't tell you anymore.
Hmm.
Because you were saying about Simon Parks. I mean, she said, because I did a pendulum on him. I said, "Is he a fraud?" And I did it like 3 times. The thing was like, building up the momentum and stuff, in a counterclockwise direction for no, and then yes. And I tried 3 times, and it kept, okay. Well, it must be another issue.
Mm.
But then she come across to me that he's very psychic, but he should have stuck to his own small group. Because you get a lot of people coming into these spiritual groups that really shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
They're playing these games, or they think it's a social media thing. No, it's very serious. Yeah. Why we're here. So she, but anyway, she said about Simon, he doesn't know how to handle the energetics, or he's got some issues with that. He's not exactly being attentive, even though he tries to think maybe he's on a mission in life or something, or he had sex with these cat beings. I don't know if you've heard the story about Simon Park.
I'm sure you did.
About the cat beings. I don't have no problem with that. Because Louis was saying that does happen.
No, I know. Absolutely.
But anyway, as far as the cat beings, she basically said she had clients that are claiming, and she can't say that they're lying to her. She has to protect their confidentiality. She said, I just don't know. She was addressing me. I don't know, but I have to heal these people because they're claiming that Simon injured them because of his doing his stuff. So you see, they're, when I was talking about the giant with,
possible. Yeah.
So I heard that because if she was kind of we'll see, I threw out, she was talking about a video and she was saying like, wow, because it was this, she was telling me, well, don't, use discernment on the guy. I don't know about his people, but he has some truth, but still use discernment. He was talking about exposing a lot of these people. And then I took that very video and I'm in a Telegram account, and I popped it in there. I said, I was asking everybody's opinion, and I was putting them to the test, so to speak. They're like attacking me and like, like I'm attacking the imperious leader.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but about out of time. I'm going to give you just a little bit of information here as we go out the door. If you can, there's a couple areas and just things that you can begin to research and learn about that are going to help you very greatly. One of them we spent some time on today, the solar plexus chakra for you. Also, learning about your energetic anatomy, the chakras in general, is going to be very helpful for you in unlocking capabilities and even new intuitive abilities that are very real and within you. And so, if you can, please just start looking at that. If it feels right, do some research. I'm also going to email you the recording of this a little bit later this evening. Okay.
I'm looking also into crystals, so
I've heard that
because of my elemental nature that I've been told.
That's going to help
you.
I
got Argonite, so I'm listening to that. They're telling me that that's what I need to move into because I'm hearing these energies. They do affect you and everything.
Absolutely. And so here's what we'll do for the next couple days. Monitor your dreams, and if you can spend extra time in meditation, as much as you can feel comfortable with, especially if you're listening to that music or those beats, and what you're going to find is probably just a greater level of internal connection. It's going to feel to you, Doug, like you're daydreaming, okay? It's very important for you to acknowledge that it's going to be your consciousness showing you and taking you on just the trip through the multidimensional versions of yourself. And so please allow that over the next couple days and just notice what shows up. You're going to receive some inspiration and just some new guidance in your life. And so I'm going to email this to you a bit later in the evening. And feel free to email me if you have any questions in the future, okay?
Okay. Well, I don't want to bug you or anything. But...
Oh, no problem at all. This is the end of our session, and so we have to go ahead and move on. But feel
always down the line, even if it's like 2 years.
Who knows what's going to happen in 2 years, but feel free to reach out. I'm
just treating you as somebody part of my life.
Oh, please do. Yeah, absolutely.
As a friend. So
absolutely. Feel free to reach out at any time, brother. Okay. And but yeah, please allow any big emotions that show up over the next couple of days. It's a really strong and beautiful process. If you can allow yourself to just cry and feel whatever arises, it's going to be very healing for you. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, my
I,
friend.
I
Pray
appreciate
we'll see you in the
that
future.
and understanding and patience. So,
Absolutely, brother.
uh,
Take care of yourself out
okay.
there.